So where we left off is we had to start getting some equations for these three different force components. So this force 1, we talked about the cables pulling up this way to counteract the force of gravity down there. And also it's kind of pulling out this way as well. Okay, so here's the J component of it, here's an I component of it. So when we write this out, so force 1 is basically going to be the magnitude of force 1, which we're trying to find, times cosine of 150I. So we said if we reset this to the origin, kind of the equilibrium point where we're looking at, so we got to use this big swooping 150 here, not just a 30. Plus sine of 150J. There's force 1. Force 2 now is going to be the magnitude of force 2 times cosine of, it's in quadrant 1, so it's going to be a 45. Okay. Force 3 is doing nothing but pulling straight down. We don't have to worry about doing magnitude here because we know this box is hanging and it's 1,200 pounds. That is the magnitude, and it's only pulling straight down in a negative direction, so we need to let that be negative 1,200J, because here's the origin. These are negative Y's going this way. All right, we're going to start simplifying some stuff now. Force 1 is the magnitude of force 1. I'm going to pause it here to save some time, and I'm just going to write out our formulas for these, basically going in and plugging in those values there. So you can see I drew out a little triangle for 150 to grab these two values, so you guys can use your unit circle, but understand, how we do those without one. Okay, so we get to here. We're trying to find the tension of the two cables. Okay, that is our F1 and our F2. We're trying to find these two guys right here. Okay, so like we said, the sum of all the force vectors should be 0. So the I components need to cancel each other out, and the J components need to cancel each other out. Okay, what I'm going to do is distribute this stuff again and clean it up on a new slide, and I'll meet you guys there. So I simply just distributed these. Now notice when I rewrote them again, I didn't put the magnitude symbols around F1 and F2 and F3. That's just to save a little time when we're writing them. Okay, we're just going to know that this is the magnitude. Okay, so you get a negative square root of 3 over 2, force 1 in the I, plus 1/2 force 1 in the J, and all of these guys. Now, as we've discussed, if this guy is going to hang there, that means all the I components have to cancel each other out. That means all these J components have to balance each other out as well. So what we're trying to say is this force 1 component in the I direction plus this force 2 component in the I direction have to equal 0. Okay, whatever they are. So negative square root of 3 of 2 times some number. That's what we're trying to find. Those are the I's. All the J's together now. This 1/2 force 1J plus the square root of 2 over 2 force 2J plus this negative 1200J down here equals 0. Now, remember, this guy does not have any unknown magnitude. Okay, F1, F2, what we're trying to find. We know what that guy is. Okay? Now, if you look at this example in your book, they do substitution here. We're just going to do matrices. Okay, I think that's going to be a whole lot easier for us. So quick little review on matrices. We need an A matrix, we need a variable matrix, and it's going to equal a B. How we solve for that B matrix is the inverse of A times B. So we're going to set it up like this. Now, I'm going to swing this guy over to the other side. So the 1/2 force 1j plus the square root of 2 over 2 force 1j equals 1200. So I'm just taking those two equations and I'm throwing them in matrices. Okay, grab your guys' calculator and we'll start plugging. So quick review here on matrices. Second matrix. We want to go over here, we want to edit matrix A. We're going to be a 2 by 2, negative square root of 3. Make sure you close that parenthesis off or you're doing a whole lot of work to get the wrong answer here. Again, close that parenthesis up. Okay, so that guy's all set up. We go back to matrix again. We want to edit a matrix B. This guy's going to be a 2 by 1. We want a 0 and positive 1200 because we took the equation, we just swung this guy over. So this top line is all the I's, this bottom line is all the J's. We go back to the main screen. We want matrix A, inverse of it, times matrix B, and there you go. So force 1 here is 878.5. Force 2, 1075.9. Okay. So we think about our picture again. Force 2 has more going on with it. Let's go back to the original. So force 2's got more going on with it because it's exactly at a 45. Okay. Force 1's got things, because of the 30, it throws off the balance between the X and the Y. So you can expect that one to be lower. But at those two tensions right there, this thing will be balanced. So they do take a lot of time. They require you to be, pretty exact with them, but you'll know if you get answers that are positive and that seem right, then at least you're on the right track. So we'll start up with one of those guys first thing tomorrow. Bring in some questions, review your calculator stuff on matrices and whatnot, and we'll try and apply these to some story problems.